Hi guys, this is CA Balakrishna. In this class we will be revising essay 300. If you observe, till now we have completed revision of 200 series. Under 200 series we have seen responsibilities of auditor relating to various aspects like relating to laws and regulations, relating to fraud, relating to audit documentation. Okay, like this we have seen various responsibilities of auditor. Now under this 300 series, see, if you observe, under 200 series the auditor has not yet started the audit. Okay, we have just seen what are the responsibilities of the auditor relating to various aspects. Now this essay 300 and 300 series deals with audit procedures, risk assessment procedures, planning for the audit. Okay, further audit procedures, all these aspects will be dealt by this essay 300 series. Now before starting the audit, the auditor has to plan the audit. Okay, how the auditor will plan, or how the auditor will develop a plan for conducting the audit, that will be dealt by this essay 300. Okay, essay 300, planning and audit of financial statements. Now why to plan the audit? Okay, what happens if auditor conducts the audit without planning it? See, if the auditor conducts the audit without a proper plan, then there is a chance that auditor might not be able to achieve the objective of the audit. Okay, what is the objective of the audit? The objective of the audit is to obtain a reasonable assurance that financial statements are free from material misstatements. Now there is a chance that auditor might not achieve this objective if he doesn't plan the audit properly. Thereby, okay, why to plan the audit? Auditor has to plan the audit so as to perform the audit effectively. Effectively means in a way to achieve objective. Okay, to achieve objective. Okay, if the objectives of the audit are achieved, then it will be said that the audit has been conducted effectively. Hope this is clear. That is the reason why auditor has to plan the audit. Now before entering into the planning of the audit, first of all let us understand a term. What is a term? That is preliminary engagement activities. What is meant by preliminary engagement activities? Basically the activities that the auditor will conduct before starting the audit, okay, before planning the audit, will be known as preliminary engagement activities. What will be included in this preliminary engagement activities? Basically there are three activities that will be included under this preliminary activities. One activity relating to essay 210, agreeing to the terms of audit engagement, and two activities covered under essay 220. Now under essay 210, auditor has to establish terms of audit engagement. This is a preliminary engagement activity. Okay, this will be performed by the auditor before starting the audit. Thereby it will be preliminary engagement activity. And under essay 220, procedures regarding continuance of client relationship. See, in order to decide whether to accept the engagement or to continue the engagement, auditor will perform certain procedures like verifying the integrity of the management, verifying whether auditor is having sufficient workforce or sufficient audit engagement to team in order to accept the audit, and whether auditor will be in a position to maintain independence throughout the audit. Okay, auditor will check all these aspects, okay, before accepting the audit. All these will be covered under procedures regarding continuance of client relationship. These are also preliminary engagement activities. Next, evaluate compliance with ethical requirements. Before accepting the audit, auditor will examine whether auditor will be able to adhere to the ethical requirements throughout the audit. Okay, only if auditor feels that he will be in a position to adhere to all the ethical requirements, he will accept or continue the engagement. Okay, all these three will be covered under preliminary engagement activities. Okay, this is the these are the activities covered under preliminary engagement activities. Now, why we have discussed this definition of preliminary engagement activities, you will come to know that. Let us see. Now, let us enter into the standard, that is developing an audit plan. Whether auditor will directly develop a audit plan or auditor will perform some other activity before developing audit plan. The answer is auditor will first of all establish overall audit strategy. Okay, after establishing overall audit strategy, based on that strategy, auditor will develop his audit plan. Hope that is clear. See, first of all, auditor shall establish overall audit strategy. Now, develop audit plan. Based on that audit strategy, auditor develops audit plan. Hope that is clear. Now, most of you might be confused regarding difference between audit strategy and audit plan. If you observe, audit strategy deals with, or audit strategy gives direction to achieve overall objective. Okay, whereas audit plan deals with how to execute audit in order to achieve audit objective. Okay, if you observe, audit strategy gives a broad direction. Okay, it gives a overall direction. Next, while developing audit strategy, what are the factors that has to be considered by the auditor? Let us see. To develop audit strategy, auditor has to identify characteristics of engagement that defines its scope. Okay, what are the characteristics of the engagement, whether it is a statutory audit or whether it is a internal audit or whether it is any specific audit to find out any fraud. Okay, first of all, before developing overall audit strategy, auditor has to first of all identify characteristics of the engagement and should also ascertain what are the reporting objectives of the engagement. Okay, these two has to be considered by the auditor before developing audit strategy. Next, he should also consider results of preliminary engagement activities. See, this is the reason why we have first of all understood the meaning of preliminary engagement activities. Okay, auditor should consider the results of all these preliminary activities before developing audit strategy. Next, ascertain nature, timing, extent of resources. Auditor has to consider these four aspects before developing audit strategy. Once auditor has developed audit strategy, based on the audit strategy, he will design audit plan. Okay, audit plan deals with execution portion. Okay, how the auditor will execute his audit? He will perform risk assessment procedures as per SA 315. Okay, thereby audit plan includes nature, timing, extent of risk assessment procedures as per SA 315. Okay, we will be discussing these risk assessment procedures in SA 315. Next, after performing risk assessment procedures, based on the risk of material misstatement that the auditor has identified, he will design further audit procedures as per SA 330. Okay, nature, timing, extent of further audit procedures at assertion level as per SA 330. We will be discussing these concepts relating to further audit procedure and risk assessment procedure in the further standards of SA 300 series. Next, other planned audit procedures. Okay, apart from risk assessment procedure and further audit procedure, if the auditor has planned to perform any other procedures, he need to include those procedures in the audit plan. Okay. Next, whether this audit plan and audit strategy are static or dynamic. That means whether the auditor can change audit plan and strategy during the audit. The answer is yes. Okay, based on the circumstances during the audit, auditor can update and change this overall audit strategy and audit plan. Okay, auditor shall update or change audit strategy and plan as necessary during the audit. Hope this is clear. Next, documentation. What will be documented by the auditor as per this standard? Basically, under this standard, he has established overall audit strategy. He will document the same. Next, he has developed audit plan. He will document the same. And in case during the audit, if he has updated or changed this audit plan and audit strategy, he will document those changes also, any significant changes made. Hope that is clear. Next, in case of initial audit engagement, auditor should also communicate with predecessor auditor in case of change in the auditor. Okay, let's say in the previous year the auditor of the entity was some other person. In that case, the new auditor has to communicate with the predecessor auditor. Hope this is clear. By this we have completed revision of SA 300. In the next class we will be revising SA 315.